If you're sick, there may be an IV for that will help you. And Dr. Connie says you don't have to go to the hospital. It doesn't have to be something so bad about that. She's here to tell us a little bit more about the IV program they have over at Wellness by Design. Dr. Connie, always great to see you.
Thank you.
So IVs kind of get a bad rap when you're like, oh, you're going in for something really serious, but you can say it could be something as fatigue, as being hungover, or even like some more serious issues too. So it runs the gamut with how it can be used.
Yes. So our IVs are mostly nutritional, and so you can kind of think of them like a liquid vitamin. And as you mentioned, there are so many applications for which we have an IV for.
Okay,
so
tell us some.
Just a little bit.
You mean the first 100 reasons?
Okay, well, we'll be here for a while.
Okay.
But just if you're a little tired, run down. One thing you brought up earlier before we went on air, if you're anticipating a trip, like getting on an airplane where
Holidays.
the air is recirculating, and of course we're going into flu and cold season, and we have found that in most cases, if people feel something like that coming on, if they come in that same day, we can typically give them an IV that'll knock it out and get them back to work the next day.
Well, and keyword nutrition, and it goes straight into your veins. I mean, it's not like a pill that you hope will break down in your stomach.
Right, because not everybody can absorb everything,
That's
and there's
true.
a limit as to how much. So you can only absorb, for example, 10 grams of vitamin C a day, that's the max. In an IV, we can give as much as 25.
Oh, wow.
So you can tell the difference, and like you said, it goes into the IV, into your vein, and then straight to your tissues.
And so this is
very
something
effective.
that like you can call them, and many times you can get them in the same day if they are feeling something, they want to do something about it. This is a great way to kind of.
Typically, we can get them in same day. You know, if you call early enough. Obviously, if you call at 5, that's not going to happen. But yes, we have an IV for so many things. Now, more serious issues like severe chronic fatigue, they're going to need to see a practitioner first. But for the more minor issues, say you have a mild headache, or you're tired or hungover, or you're dehydrated, you can just call up and we can make that happen typically the same day.
Right.
Well, now there's a discount you're offering.
Yes, people who mention this show and call in and say, hey, I heard about it on WSPA Channel 7, we'll give them 10% off their first IV. So it's a great deal.
That's great.
And I think we feel that people are going to be so happy that they'll come back for more IVs, because again, it really gives you a boost. In fact, secret fact here, those of us that work there, we get IVs all the time because they're there. So it's frequent to see our staff hooked up to an IV because we know how well they work.
And you know it's great too if you see the staff using it. And I was wondering too if it's something that should be done as a maintenance thing, like you go every 2 weeks to get a facial, and because it makes you feel good, it makes you look a certain way.
Yes, we actually have an IV bar membership for people who do want to get frequent IVs. So obviously it's a discounted price. But during cold and flu season, we recommend that people come in every couple of weeks because that, along with keeping your vitamin D up, avoiding sugar, of course, very effective at warding off these infectious illnesses we get in the cold season.
All right, rattle off as we close 5 things that can help. I held up 10 fingers, but 5 would be fine.
Headache,
1,
fatigue,
2,
dehydration,
3,
feeling hungover,
4,
or just general prevention of flu infections.
If you're
that's
ever going to have this done, this is the time of year.
That's right. That's right.
To do it. You said that you have a kind of a chapter or so in your book that kind of addresses that.
That's right. I believe it's the final chapter. It's a great little book I wrote kind of describing the unique services we offer. And it's actually quite a nice chapter at the end where we talk about IVs, including our addiction IV. We have an IV that'll cure, in most cases, 90% of cases, chronic addictions to things like alcohol. So yeah, it's a nice little chapter in that book. Anybody who wants kind of an overall primer on how to become healthy, stay healthy, great little book, available on our website.
Awesome. So again, if you call the office and tell them that you saw their segment on Your Carolina here on Channel 7, you get 10% off that first IV treatment.
Correct.
And where are you located again?
850 South Pleasantburg. We're a block from Cleveland Street, so very close to Greenville Technical College.
Mention the bowling lanes.
That's right,
landmark.
close to the bowling alley. Just 10 minutes from downtown Greenville.
There you go. Wellnessbydesign.center has all the information there, and go get your IV on. Get well this season.
That's great.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Connie. It is time to get that holiday shopping started. Coming up next, Santa Claus is coming to town. Well, let me rephrase that. Santa Shop is coming to town in Spartanburg, and we'll tell you all about that event.